Yeah. This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Let's go!
Wow, had such an amazing show. Again, I think a big part of that was to do with Tracey Vo.
Oh, God.
Hey, Vo. Hey, Vo.
Thanks, guys. How?
Yeah, actually, we're going to put that in. We're going to see how Tracey Vo from Channel 9 News, who is a consummate professional, asks questions during a trivia challenge.
That's the music that gets it going.
How? You'll hear it.
Hey, Trace, you missed earlier on, but Nathan has told you about it. His body is rejecting the heat of today. In fact, he's going the opposite way.
Yeah, it's not good. So we'll touch on that during the show. Also, we'll find out what places people want to go back to eat something that they loved. Anything from you, Tracy? Have you eaten something while you've been overseas and you've gone, okay, I'll come back for that?
Probably just anything in Vietnam.
Anything in Vietnam.
So authentic.
Yeah.
Anything, really.
Yeah. Well,
and that was back 2016.
This is all to do from a egg sandwich from a family mart, so like a 7-Eleven in Japan.
Really?
Yeah.
An egg sandwich, mate.
Oh, let's go and try that.
Got you $2. Got you $2.
We talk about partner fails as well. These were good, weren't they? Enjoyed these stories.
Yeah. And earlier on, Tom Ballard joined us as well, trying to defend all things millennial. You're a millennial, aren't you?
I think I am. I have no idea. Jen, what? I can't keep up.
I'm gonna
What
say
are
yes.
millennials?
Millennials are
Up to 39?
between...
Is that right, Nathan?
Was that? Yeah, up to 39.
Oh, okay. I hit the limit. I'm 39.
Oh, so you're a geatric millennial.
Yeah, right, I think so.
That's what you're called.
On the higher
You're
end.
called a geatric millennial. Suck it in.
My knees feel it.
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
I want to talk about yesterday. It was my best mate Johnny's wife Vanessa's birthday.
Lovely.
Yeah, she had a lovely day. Her daughter, one of them acknowledges her birthday, the other one doesn't care. And that must be really terrible as a parent when one of them don't care and it's all about them, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, I get it.
But it's mummy's birthday and they don't understand. Anyway, so Vanessa was
when they get older and they don't acknowledge you, that's...
Yes.
Vanessa was very excited about having a wonderful day, and Johnny, her husband, thought that he would treat her with a cake from her favourite bakery. So he goes into the bakery and he's ordering the cake, and he says, I would like a caramel cake with passion fruit filling.
Caramel cake with passion fruit.
Oh, my God.
Now, Tracy, without knowing anything else, talk to me.
That just sounds gross.
Does that go?
Caramel and passion fruit? No, that's a no-go.
Yeah. Now, the baker, she flagged these concerns as well.
Okay.
And said to him, no, that's not a flavour that we put together. And he goes, no, that's my wife's favourite cake. And she goes, I don't think it is. And then Johnny was like, no, I've got it right. She wants a caramel cake and she wants some passion fruit filling. So that's what Johnny got. Then when he took it home and presented it to Vanessa, and Vanessa asked what flavour it was, and then Johnny told her, Vanessa too screwed up her face and had a few questions. This is what happened. Vanessa's really like two separate cakes, one of which she got for my birthday, which was a salted caramel with caramal filling.
Oh,
that
nice.
cake.
Yum.
And the other cake she liked was a vanilla cake with passion fruit filling. Johnny has put the two cakes together
Perfect.
to make his own cake.
What a good bloke. Like, that's thinking.
So he's adamant that it was going to taste good. I have not heard from them since, but Vanessa was adamant that it wasn't, and I'm sure it wasn't going to taste any good either.
Was it salted caramel as well?
I'm sure it might have been a salted caramel cake with passion fruit.
It does sound...
So my thing is, at least he tried.
Yes.
And some people, and you know this of your partner, have tried really, 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 really hard, but they've really, 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 really failed. Mm-hmm. Shaun?
So last night we had a bit of a Christmas, dinner because my son's going to be away for Christmas. So it was him and his girlfriend, and we put on a bit of a spread. The whole cracking of the putting on the hats, the whole lot was there. And for it, we did seafood on the barbecue, which I went and bought a heap of seafood, and then I cooked it last night. And I like to keep things simple. I don't like, stuff just... I just don't like all
over the top.
Yeah, over the top stuff. So
simple
anyway,
flavours.
I cooked fish, mussels, prawns, and crayfish on the barbecue. And then when I'd gone inside to get a second
You did a really
plate.
good job. That's amazing.
Thank you.
did all
Yeah,
that.
it looked good actually. Thank you, Nate.
Yum.
Anyway, when I walked inside, because Megan, Mrs. followed me in, and she said, "What did you think of the dinner?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I was pretty happy with myself."
Right.
And then she said, "I think it's a bit dry." Because I'm not about 1 on 100 sauce, all the different sauces that you can put out. I was a bit flat with that. I was a bit flat.
Sounds like you really, really, really tried, but really, really, really failed.
It's time to stop putting off your trips and start celebrating summer with an amazing getaway.
Whatif.com has all kinds of accommodation options all around Oz.
Check them out on the What If app. What if it's Aussie for travel?
We are currently talking about when your partner has really, 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 really tried and really, 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 really failed. Tracy, does this happen in your relationship at all?
No.
What do you mean, no?
Because Liam is a perfectionist.
Yeah.
He always has to have sort of the best things in life. He's going to hate me saying this. And I accused him of being an elitist recently, and he got so offended by that. So, and you know what? He tries hard, and but then I'm the one that
So
fails
he
all the
tries
time.
hard but delivers.
Yeah, delivers, and I don't. So
you're
but
the
I own it.
disappointment.
Yeah,
you
I'm
own
the
it.
failure,
Well,
and I own it.
That's all you need to be. Kim's in Sorrento. Hey, Kim.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, absolutely, Kim.
You're sounding amazing, Kim. All right, talk to us about your partner.
So I had my partner go away on a trip to Bali for my birthday. I was away studying, so I couldn't go. And he thought it would be a good idea to get me something whilst he's over there.
Yeah.
So he's like, look, I'll get you something like really special. And he told me he picked me something out, and it was getting handmade. And I thought, oh, God, what has he got me? It must be, jewellery or something, really special.
Hey, Kim, just while you're talking, can you just turn your indicator off? Because all we can hear is ticking, and it sounds like a bomb's about to kill you.
I was been laughing.
If you can safely turn it off, that'd be great.
Okay, cool. So he's picked up this gift, and he's gone, oh, you're going to absolutely love it. I've had a look at it, and it looks great. And
How
I thought, oh my
exciting.
God. Yeah, really, really excited. Really built it up. And then it gets to my birthday. He's brought it back, and I unravel it, and it's a painted portrait of me.
Oh no.
From when we went away. And I mean, it's from Bali, so it's not the bestest of quality. But it was 100% genuine. Bless him, he thought it was a really fantastic gift, and I didn't have it in me to tell him that I didn't like it.
So where is it?
Yeah, where is it now?
It's in my parents' attic in their house upstairs.
Oh, okay, so no one ever will be able to see it. Trace.
It's hidden away.
I still haven't hung it up, but we've been together a couple of years now, and I eventually told him that I wasn't going to hang it up in the house.
Oh, no, I think you need to hang it up. There is no, you know what? You cannot give anyone bad art. It's just a thing. You just can't, you can buy someone a bad vase or something like that, but bad art, something to hang on someone's wall, you don't ever put anyone in that position.
Oh, just don't buy art in general.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, that is so funny.
Oh, Kim.
She loves it so much.
Thanks, Kim.
I know,
Attic.
it's in the attic.
Yeah. Hey, Chelsea.
Hi, guys.
Hi,
Hi,
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
We're talking about partners really, really trying, but really, really failing as well. What have you got for us?
So we recently had our second child at the beginning of this year, and our eldest was, she's going to daycare, so there's not much of an age gap between them.
Yeah.
And so hubby was helping out a lot more in the mornings, getting our daughter ready for daycare, etc. And I picked her up from daycare one afternoon, and the educator had pulled me aside and basically said, hey, I think she's having a bit of a growth spurt, her clothes are a bit tight. And I'm like, oh, okay. And anyway, I've got home and realised that my husband has dressed her in our 9-month-old baby's clothes. And she's 3.
This is why she's wearing a rash vest. They are the short shorts.
No,
Oh, my God. That is the funniest
he
thing.
tried. And
Bless him. That's so good.
How uncomfortable.
I know, boy.
Chelsea, how old was your other child that's going to daycare?
she's 3.
3, okay.
Wow. in 9 months old.
I wonder as he's jamming her into it, it's going, this isn't. Why didn't a bell go off? Like this is probably isn't
I'm
right.
surprised he didn't pick it up and say to you, Chelsea, these clothes are a bit small. You know?
Yeah. I know, that is so funny.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We've been talking about partners really, really trying, but really, really failing. Shaun, I did not think a guy out there would find a guy out there with a story.
Well, we needed a hero to come along, and it's Nathan from Secret Harbour. G'day, Nath.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Well,
good,
Nathan, firstly, tread carefully. Is she listening?
She probably is.
All right, Nathan, what happened?
So my wife, I met her. She's my wife now. She was my partner back then. She lived in Queensland, so she moved over to Western Australia from Brisbane.
Yeah.
She was a city girl, and she come across here, and she tried to show an interest in the things that I like doing.
Oh.
So she said, I'll come out fishing with you on your boat.
Okay.
And I said, okay, I'll take you out fishing and we'll see if you can catch a fish. So we jumped on my little boat, went 12 miles out to sea. She dropped the line down, caught one fish, and then she spewed for 3 hours. And I did tell her before we went, the one rule when you go out is if you get sick, we stay out.
Okay, so that's a rule that you do until it happens, or did you stick to that rule?
Stuck to her for a couple of hours.
A couple of hours.
I brought her home in the end. She was getting a bit green in the guts. I thought I better get it back.
Nathan, I've been seasick, and it is the worst feeling in a million.
But Shaun, did you hear
not
Nathan? Leave him alone. He brought her home in the end, he said.
I did.
He's good for
I took one of her friends out with one day as well, and he got a bit sick. He didn't get the same treatment. He stayed out there. We ate his lunch because we didn't bring any, and he wasn't going to eat it.
Okay, that is brilliant. Thanks. Angie's in Dutch. Hey, Angie.
Oh, hi.
Hi,
How are
Angie.
you guys?
Oh,
Good,
they're
thanks.
great. All right. Is this about your husband?
Yes. We got engaged like 12 years ago, and all his life he's been allergic to peanuts. Okay, so it's not a new thing. So he proposed me. He set up this beautiful, like candlelight pathway when I got home from work.
Oh, lovely.
Had music playing.
Wow.
And he got on his knee and he proposed to me, and it was such a beautiful night. And he thought, okay, I'll cook for you.
Yes.
So I'm vegetarian, so he made me this like beautiful marinated tofu dish, and you know, we're eating it and we're having a great time. I'm just in awe, and then all of a sudden he just starts choking on himself.
Oh, God.
His face starts to swell up like pitch. I had to like call the ambulance, you know, and start getting water. I started throwing up. And I'm like, oh my God, this guy doesn't want to marry me.
He's allergic to you.
His body's actually rejecting the proposal.
I know. He's like, oh shit, she said yes. I didn't think she would say yes. And then, you know, so we ended up on our proposal evening instead of, you know, sealing the deal. We were at hospital. So we found out that in the meal there was peanuts in there. So
and he had cooked it. He's allergic to peanuts. He's had he cooked it for you.
He cooked it for me. He organised the whole thing, you know. And
But he didn't realise there were peanuts in the meal.
You know what? I thought peanut people were really across this, you know, because like it can like when
Seems a bit suspect that he could let this go through.
Do you reckon? I reckon he's like he's proposed, and then while he's cooking, he's had to think about what just happened, and then he's just grabbed a sneaky cashew and just chucked it in.
I think so. There's only one way I'm getting out of this.
It's the only option. Thanks, Angie. Let's finish off with Hayley from Coburn. Hi, Hayley.
Hi, how you going?
Great, Hayley. This one's about your dad, is it?
Oh, yes, bless him.
I love him already. What happened?
Oh, so years ago, my mum wanted, my dad's really handy, and she wanted him to make like 3 big wooden frames to make like photos of my sisters and I and put them up on the wall.
Oh, nice.
So anyway, he spent weeks, you know, making them from scratch, varnishing them, everything makes these. They're about as big as a TV each. Huge.
Oh, wow.
But he thinks, I'm going to go that little bit step further. Yeah. I'm going to make collages for her for Christmas. But what he's done is he's gone into our basically archive of family photos, and this was like 15 years ago, before they were like on, you know, on your phone. He's cut up our entire family photo. Like, say there's a photo of me, my mum, my dad, my 3 sisters. He's cut snip, so that all 3 of us can go in our own wooden frame.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are these only copies of these photos?
The only copy.
Oh my gosh.
We now have no family photos, and Dad's presented them to her on Christmas morning. My mum is like hysterically crying. The photos are ruined. And to top it all off, my dad's so upset, he's got like the wrong kids in the wrong frame.
He's had a stinker.
I'm in my sister's one, and then there's like photos of me and my sister as babies, nipped up the middle.
Oh my goodness.
Poor Dad. We don't talk about it. It's been 15 years. No, they're away. No, we don't talk about it.
So they're put away, no one talks about it, and you have no more family photos from your past?
Pretty much.
Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
Harry, did you just Google something which is a higher price when travelling? What was it?
Perth to New York, John F. Kennedy, return, one person, first class.
Oh, it's first class.
$24,434.
Seriously, 24,000.
So we got Tracey Vo filling in for Nat this morning. Tracey, why don't you tell everyone quickly about how your upgrade story that you just told us?
Obviously covering my London stint recently for 9, and I always try and upgrade with my points. Liam, my fiancé, flew up for the last week, so we had a bit of a break, and he's got platinum, so we think surely he's going to get an upgrade because I'm Ruby. I'm like the lowest of the low rankings on the Qantas frequent flyers. We check in at Heathrow, and Liam asks the guy at the check-in counter saying, are you full? Yeah, we're overbooked. So we're like, okay, there's no chance of getting an upgrade, but then he hands over the boarding passes. I've been upgraded, and Liam is left in economy.
How tall is Liam?
And he's 6'4", and he never, ever, ever. I don't think he remembers the last time he flew economy. So there's a chat on that we got a WhatsApp chat with his brothers and sisters and his parents as well. They thought it was just hilarious because Liam never flies economy. So poor Liam.
And you've got upgraded.
I know I've got upgraded, and the flight attendant was lovely. He's like a Spanish guy, and he's like, "You just enjoy it, darling. Just leave him back there."
It's so funny. And I have to agree with Liam. I don't think that short people should be upgraded. I'm sorry. I'm just going to call it the way it is. So
You're listening to Nathan, Nat, and Shaun.
I'm looking forward to getting out in the heat today, Nate, because it's 37 today, my friend.
I know. I don't like this heat.
No.
But I knew what the temperature was going to be today, so I laid my clothes out for today, which will be a nice summery little outfit.
Summer outfit, of course.
Just a T-shirt. Put it on. I woke up in bed and I was freezing, Shaun.
God, your bloody teeth are going at it, aren't they?
Oh, dude. Absolutely. Like, I got up to check if I had the aircon on.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the aircon on. I was freezing. So then, like, I got dressed, I put a T-shirt on, then I walked out my front door. And I'm in an apartment as well, so I'm not walking out to the night air. As soon as that air hit me in the hallway, I was freezing again. So I came in and put a long sleeve shirt on. And my hands have been freezing. You felt my hands? They're wearing me out now because I've been warming them up.
Yeah, you had them on your groin again. It's the only way I hit my hands. That was so cold this morning, you put them on my face. I can't understand that. It's 37 degrees. Like, it's not exactly 37 now, but it's warm enough for you not to be cold.
I think that my body is rejecting the temperature. I think that... So I don't know if your body can do this, but I feel like my body is so against the heat that it's somehow concocted some igloo-like shell around myself and is keeping myself freezing. I think I'm becoming a medical marvel.
I think you're right.
Because I'm not going out in today's heat. What are you doing today?
I'll get to the beach. I'm going swimming after this, so that'll be out and just doing a few laps, but then I'll go to the beach for sure.
Just talk to me when you go swimming. What do you mean?
I've got to get ready. There's a swim in Rotto this weekend. If I can get my shoulder going, I might be able to do it. So other than that, I'll be swimming for the Rottnest swim and then the Port to Pub as well.
Okay, so say when you're not like training for swimming, when you say I'm going for a swim, what do you do? How does one do this?
What do you mean, at the beach or at the pool?
Or any of it. So at the pool, I get it. You go laps.
Yeah, laps. Yeah.
But at the beach, like, so if you're just going for a swim at the beach, what happens? Do you just swim out?
Has it been that long since you've been at the beach?
Well, I don't know what to do. Do you just swim straight out? Do you pick a point and just swim straight out into the ocean, or do you swim along the coast?
Well, okay. If you go down to Cottesloe right now, we call it the pussy pen, and that's the net that's around it.
Oh, okay.
So,
wow.
so you can swim
Sounds
right
like a great
out.
place to pick up.
It's about 100 odd metres offshore at least. And then you can swim right around there, knowing that if there's any sharks on the outside, they can't get you. So you're safe as houses. You can pull finger signs and all that with the sharks going past.
So you just go for a swim around the perimeter of the pussy
Well,
pen?
I go up and down the pussy pen.
Doesn't sound like there's much there for me.
No wonder your body's rejecting the beach.
They said that tonight is going to be the hottest night on record. It's going to break a record.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it's going to be 25 degrees tonight.
For November, breaking the record.
Yeah, for November.
Degrees.
25 degrees tonight. That's crazy.
Well, that'll be okay because you'll be freezing anyway. You'll have the doon on. You'll have your rug on.
Hopefully tomorrow I will be back to normal and I'll be feeling the heat and Shaun and I will be hitting the pussy pen.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun in podcast form.
Shaun, we've got one funny bugger on Zoom. His name's Tom Ballard. You know him. We love him. He's got a book out, I Millennial, One Snowflake Screed Against Boomers, Billionaires and Everything Else.
Hey, Tom, you're on the attack, aren't you, in this book?
I'm taking them down, man. I'm taking down the system, bro.
Good.
Yeah, it's going to start the revolution. It's crazy.
We went through a stage where everyone was blaming everything on millennials, remember? But now millennials are pushing 40. So I feel like millennials have sorted their crap out and they've now realised as the dust has settled what a raw deal they've been left. Is that right, Tom?
That's the general vibe, yeah. Millennials now, the youngest millennials are sort of like, entering their late 20s, coming into the late 20s, and then, the earliest ones are in their 40s. So they're geriatric millennials. So they'll be heading to the nursing home very shortly. But yes, a long time like, millennials, these spoiled kids. And then eventually these spoiled kids said, hang on, I think it might be these old people that is part of the problem, or at least all the stuff that they got for free when they were growing up and the way that society sort of tipped in their favour. Yeah.
Hey, Tom, on that, one of my mates is a builder over in Victoria, and he is constantly hit up with baby boomers, right? Because they're just getting all the inheritance, and they're building these massive mansions. And it's been probably about 3 or 4 years in a row that he's just been inundated with people coming down with all this money, and it has nothing to do with how the economy's going. They're just absolutely minted, so they're getting the freest ride of all time.
Oh my God, Tom, you should have seen it on the news here, right? So there was, so when the borders had come down and then everyone over east had realised how cheap our properties were, all these property clubs took flights over here and it showed them on the news, and there was just buses and buses of elderly people getting off and then just not even caring to do a lap of the house. They were just buying them left, right and centre, and now no one here can afford or buy a house.
Right. Well, I mean, one of the policies I lay out is that that kind of thing should be illegal. Those people should be put on trial. I think the only way we deliver a just society is to make sure that those people are dragged through the criminal justice system. I mean, you've got people. You got people like there was a guy who called into radio a few weeks ago, earlier in the year, you might remember, when the Greens were talking about introducing a rent cap.
Yeah.
And he has 283 investment properties. 283 investment properties, and there's a housing crisis, and you sort of say, hey, you go to jail, give everyone else a house. I think that's the only solution we have.
Oh, he was a bit disappointed he didn't have 284, which he was working on. You got to feel
He worked hard. He worked hard for those 283 houses.
Hey, Tom, who, as a millennial, how old are you now?
I'm 33, turned 33 on the weekend.
So you're right you're in the guts of the millennials, really. So
most of the Australian millennials are in that age bracket. I think they're in their early 30s. That's where the sort of the demographic bulk is. Yeah.
So who does a millennial look down on?
These spoiled Gen Z kids who don't know how good they've got it and they don't respect us. Generation Z, would be sort of, mid-teenagers up to 25 kind of thing. And they have really created their own generational identity to the point where they're now making fun of millennials. People might have seen TikToks where it's making fun of millennials who just joke about Harry Potter and drink red wine all day. Apparently those are the two things that my generation does, which is probably fair enough. But
God, you're right in the hitting zone here, because you can have a go at the baby boomers and everyone else, and you can have a go at Gen Z later on when you write your next book.
Well, alphas after them. The next generation after them is alphas. That's little kids from 10 and under. You're a part of Generation Alpha. My brother just had a little baby, a niece, so she's part of that. The book's dedicated to her, and I say, welcome to the world, sorry about everything, to Cecilia, because it feels like, at the moment, I don't know, it's hard to imagine things getting radically better. So all the stuff that millennials are complaining about now, it feels like it's just going to get worse and worse unless we seriously change stuff. So obviously the book will solve all those problems.
Yeah, bloody hell.
We're Generation X, so I feel like we aren't really attacked by anyone. Do you agree?
No. Yeah, no one cares about you. You don't do anything. Everyone hates you. You're boring. You had Reality Bites and Nirvana, and that's pretty much it. That's all you got.
Reality Bites is such a good soundtrack.
I'll take Nirvana
Remember
too.
the My Sharona in the convenience store? Like, I mean, all of us were doing that. We thought we were the best.
Gen X is weird though, because you guys, you're cool. Will Anderson's Gen X, Jen Garofalo, Red Gen X, but Scott Morrison is also technically in Generation X.
Are you joking?
As is Bill Shorten, I believe. Yes, technically, if you're born after 1965, then you are in the Gen X category. So
maybe we'll have to make an adjustment.
I don't want to be anything near Scott Morrison. And also, look at him, he has white hair. We can't be part of his generation. Oh, my God.
That's you. That's who you are. That's you right there.
Oh, my God. Hey, over here, our property prices, they're saying, are still quite reasonable, in comparison to Australia.
Australia-wide, they are, yeah.
Tom, how are your friends affording to buy properties?
Why? Because
it's
my rich famous friends in showbiz are fine. You'll be pleased to know.
Yeah.
But that's a terrible system for society. Ordinary people who are just working a job they hate have no chance. And that's the big change, right? So baby boomers grew up at a time when you could get a decent job, you could work hard, and you could actually climb up. You could, buy a house reasonably if you saved. And the median house price has gone from 4 times the annual wage to about 9 or 10 times the median wage, right? So that's just a huge increase in the prices of properties like all across the country. And that's a broken system. And if you keep exacerbating that, and everyone in the political class says, we just need house prices to keep going up, that's good for the country, then you're just going to lock out more and more young people who don't have any hope of getting a house unless they get it through inheritance from their parents dying.
Look, I'm okay.
Hence a lot of comedians doing
I've got a
jokes
house.
about their parents dying.
So I don't care about anyone else.
What?
I've got a house, so I don't care about the...
You got a couple of houses. Sean's got 294.
You're going to see me on ACA with Ali Langdon. That'll be her first gig.
All right, you don't get a free copy of my book, man. You got to pay.
Oh, John Bollard's book is out. You can check it out. I'm Millennial, One Snowflake Screwed Against Boomers, Billionaires, and Everything Else. Thanks so much, Tom.
Thanks, team. Have a good day.
Hey, take care, Tom.
This is a podcast of Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Well, I've been loving chucking on SBS, and normally it's for the cooking shows, but this has been for the World Cup. It's been amazing. Sarah Walsh has been calling all the action. Sarah's a former Matilda head of Australian football. Sarah, this has been awesome. The goals last night were absolutely flowing.
Yeah, fantastic. Through our matches, morning everyone as well. Our matches had 11 goals, the first 2 ones, and full disclosure, I just woke up, so it's been brutal hours. But the first 2 matches produced 11 goals. That was fantastic.
Oh my God, Sarah, are you so tired?
Yeah. I'm yet to see. I'm yet to see Portugal's goals. I've looked at the scores, but no.
Okay, no questions about Portugal's 2-0 win over Uruguay then.
Because you guys are literally working through the night, trying to just concentrate and be camera ready as well. With every detail. But huge amount of goals last night. I was sitting down watching Cameroon and Serbia.
Oh God, how good was that?
Because by half time, I think it was who was down, Cameroon or Serbia, and then
I think Cameroon scored 1 at that stage. Was that right, Sarah?
Yes. Like just back and forth, and it was a fantastic match. Serbia really should have run away with it, but didn't close the match out, and Cameroon come back, and it was drama. Fantastic game. We haven't had that many goals in a while, so it was nice, particularly on the late shift.
Yeah, it's particularly on the late. You know what? I'm really feeling for you because your job is to get up and now talk to us after watching TV all night.
Can I be honest? I think it's really funny.
Where else would I be?
Have you even gotten out of bed yet?
Yeah. No.
I'll
roll out. I'll watch last night's games and then I'll prep for tomorrow morning's game. So.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
was saying this to Tracey. To be on TV, that's the worst part. We can come in here after a really, having a bugger all sleep, and no one sees us.
Me and Nathan just put on a hat.
A hat. I've got some trackies on today, but you guys have to be seen. That would be traumatic for me.
It's not too bad. The group matches are probably the most difficult, and there's a couple breaks in between the next matches.
Sarah, doing your homework as well and doing all the background. I mean, obviously you've been following and been a part of the World Game for so long, so you've got a really good handle. But I guess then diving a bit into it to be able to give people at home a real great picture of what's happening?
Yeah, I think, look, I think you're right, I watch a lot of football, so it's, in that sense, there's a lot of, I guess, knowledge that I already have. But, as the tournament gets started, you're really just watching a lot of football. And then, like, what a job. Found myself yesterday just prepping for Serbia, Cameroon, watching the previous matches. And honestly, it's probably been more about the upsets. It's been a tournament of upsets, and it's highly likely because of the lack of preparation leading in. And, they jumped straight out of club football into national team setup. And, I feel like it's closed the gap. A lot of the smaller teams, like Saudi Arabia, have been playing like a club team for a while. They finished their league early, and all of the Asian teams have done fantastically. Although as we've moved through the group matches, it's looking less likely they'll get out. But like so many upsets.
I think that's the thing you can't prepare yourself for either, because you kind of always focus, particularly in the World Cup, it's every 4 years, you focus on the high-ranking teams like Brazil and Portugal and that sort of stuff, and then the fact that you've got, as you said, Sarah, Saudi Arabia coming through, even the Socceroos, where they've been Tunisia. I guess that's just a level of... another level of research, I suppose, with the teams that aren't really... They're the underdogs, really, aren't they?
Yeah, well, I think with that research, a lot of Australians don't know much about Tunisia, but we did. And one thing we did know about them was, they lost 5-1 to Brazil, and it wasn't long after that, prior to that they beat Japan 3-0, a very good Japan. So, they're up and down, and we were just hoping we were going to get the Brazil Tunisia, and we did.
I tell you what.
We stepped up, though. We were fantastic.
The fans are so passionate. This isn't the World Cup, but did you see that local Turkish football derby that was on the news yesterday?
No, I missed it.
It descended into chaos as an out-of-control fan. He stormed onto the pitch and he attacks the opposition goalkeeper with a corner flagpole.
God, I've seen this happen
And he
before.
just starts whacking this guy on the head with a corner flagpole. And I was like, that was unbelievable. The guy had to get taken to the hospital. He's okay. I was like, oh my God, the fans are passionate. But everything seems to be very in control in Qatar. So,
well, they are at the moment, but if we see that, they'd be entertaining. I would agree.
Everyone's like, I had to get past security. That's insane. Anyway, you've got enough football to watch, Sarah. You don't have to worry about those little matches.
That's all right. Did everyone see Fed Square the other night?
Yeah, it's gone bananas.
Yeah. We're expecting the same, and New South Wales Premier's opened up the pubs here for the next match Thursday. So, we're expecting much of the same. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, it was funny. I just found out that there's a pub down the road from me that's open till 4 a.m. because they were able to watch all the games. They got some special license, so everyone's getting behind it.
Yep.
You know what?
Yeah, go,
I was
Sarah.
driving home. It was about 3:30 in the morning, and I drove past all of these pubs with yellow jerseys on, Brazilians. I live in Maroubra by the beach in Sydney. There are so many Brazilians. I didn't know. Really, this is what the World Cup does, brings out all of these amazing communities.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Well, we'll be watching all the action as we have been on SBS. We'll be able to see your fine work and get some sleep, and hopefully we'll speak to you a bit later on in the day when you're a bit bright-eyed and bushy-tailed.
Thanks, team.
No,
Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Sarah.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
We're heading into Christmas time.
Yeah, we are.
And a lot of people are pretty excited this year because they can start travelling internationally again.
I know, a lot of people got in early, Nathan, when the prices weren't through the roof, but I've been looking a little bit over the last couple of weeks. I know you have, but the prices are so full on. So I'm glad those people might have got in earlier so that they can nick off and get out of the country.
But it's the flights that are getting me. The accommodation everywhere seems to be okay. But it's the price of flights. That has gone through the bloody roof.
If you want to fly to Bali in the next, just after Christmas, directly after Christmas, it's like $2,000 return. $2,000.
I know.
You used to be able to go to Europe for that.
I know, it's disgusting. But anyway, I was reading an article the other day, and this guy was flown over to Japan. Wonderful place. And this thing had two things that interest me. Number one is Japan. I really want to go.
Oh, a couple of my mates are going. They're going in January. Start of January, they're off.
Really want to go to Japan. The other thing, Shaun, that I love is egg sandwiches.
Sorry. You do love egg sandwiches. Japan and egg sandwiches. What do you mean? I'm going there for the sushi.
No.
Sashimi.
No, you're an idiot. There's a thing called the tamago, the tamago sando, right? So this egg sandwich is found.
Some play where the guy doesn't stop playing the panpipes.
It's found at a Family Mart convenience store, which is like a
Family Mart?
7-Eleven. Right? Because they said the food in these places are amazing. And because a lot of the shops and cafes and stuff don't open until after 10 a.m. So if you're wanting something to eat earlier on, you go into one of these Family Marts, so there's little convenience stores, and they said, and the stuff in there is just next level. But this egg sandwich from Japan, it's got a cult following. It's appeared on TV shows, everything like this. So this writer, he actually flew over to Japan to try this egg sandwich, and he said it is unbelievable, right? He said that it is deliciously creamy, and it's got aromatic eggs in this sandwich. Nothing else fancy in the is added to the egg mixture, which is layered between the bread. There's no celery, oregano, shallots, garlic, nothing else. It's got Japanese Kewpie mayonnaise, which is made with the egg yolks and not whole eggs. It's sweet, tart, distinctive umami aftertaste, and it's all for the bargain price of $2. $2, 2
yen or $2?
$2.
Well, yen's Chinese, so that wouldn't work. That's amazing. That's amazing. So this would be you in a heartbeat.
Mate.
You would fly there in a heartbeat and you would go for the egg sandwich.
For me, I love the memories you make when you're travelling, but sometimes the closest and most strongest memories that you have is with a certain thing that you've eaten. And this happened in Amsterdam where Mum, Dad and I were staying on a houseboat. So first of all, we're having the best time ever. Everyone's riding around bikes. It looks like Harry Potter. It was the best place. And we went to this cafe that we'd read about called, it's called Cafe Pepinellian. How do you say that?
Cafe Papanilian.
Yep. Nealan.
Yep.
Cafe Papanilian. And the reason why we went there is they're famous for their apple pies.
Okay.
And apparently, this is the law of the land, is that Bill Clinton came into their cafe, tried a slice of their apple pie, loved it so much he took several pies back onto Air Force One, and everyone enjoyed them. Anyway, that apple pie, this is it here, was the most amazing thing that I have ever eaten in my life.
But is everybody stoned before they start popping into that, or is that the start?
That's probably why. Can I say, see this, that's the counter, they have them all lined up, so I reckon that might have a lot to do with it.
The communal bong on the table in between the apple pie.
The Nathan, Nat and Shaun podcast.
A Japanese egg sandwich, Shaun.
It's got you ready to jump on a plane.
Has caused the stir, everybody. It's available at Family Mart convenience store in Tokyo, and this writer went over just to try it and said he would go back several times to eat this egg sandwich, which has got us thinking, where in the world would you go back to just to eat something that you tried?
Harry's jumped in on this, actually, because, Harry, you've travelled the world.
Yeah, lived in Lake Tahoe for about 6 months, California. Blue Dog Pizza around the state line. The Italian melt.
What happened?
Italian melt.
It's like a calzone, mushrooms, caramelized onion, bell peppers. Just the best thing ever.
So it's like a toasted sandwich.
Yeah, but they do it really well.
Yeah.
Make sure you get ranch sauce though, otherwise it's useless. A few friends have gone back through.
In America, they go mental for a ranch sauce. They dip their pizzas in it. They do everything. What were you doing in Lake Tahoe for 6 months?
Working at a ski resort as a lift operator.
Shaun, we never did this.
Oh my God!
We never did this stint overseas where people did things like this. God, we suck. Oh, God.
I know.
Let's go to Andrew and Kelmscott. Hey, Andrew.
G'day, guys. How are you?
Yeah, good, Andrew. All right, Andrew, where are we travelling to?
Okay, we would be travelling to Bangkok at Siam Paragon in Bangkok. There's a coffee patisserie shop called Coffee by Deo, and they do a chocolate banana mousse slice, and it's a short crust pastry, sliced banana, chocolate mousse, ganache on top, and if I had the money, I would get a Learjet to go back to the day just for a slice. It's just drop dead incredible.
Oh my God! It sounds like a whole thing, Andrew. Like a whole event. What's in it?
If somebody was ever in Bangkok, Coffee by Deo and the chocolate banana slice, it's just unbelievable.
Hey, so when on your holiday did you discover this? Was it at the start or was it at the end?
It was kind of at the end. We normally do a week in Bangkok. So we were in Bangkok. We're at Siam Paragon, which is incredible food. And we just fancied a coffee and a bit of cake. Went to this patisserie called Coffee by Deo, and they've got some of the most incredible cake patisserie I've ever seen in the world from travelling. And this chocolate banana cake slice, chocolate mousse ganache, talk about wow factor and put you on a few kilos, but I'll tell you, it was unbelievable.
How many times did you eat it while you were there?
Oh, we got about 4 different cakes and went halves each. The stuff was so good.
You can tell with the way you're talking about it. You can taste it. It's building.
You know what the worst thing is? The worst thing is when you discover something right at the end of your holiday, and then you thought, "Oh my God, I could have had this every day before." We were in Shanghai, and we were walking past this stall every day, and we would have never thought of to go there because it was just all locals. We thought, "Okay, what the hell are they eating?" And then on the last day, Dad and I went, "Okay, we're going to go up there and ask what it is." Anyway, and they'd flattened out this chicken to would be the size of a hubcap. and they deep fried it and crumbed it. And then Dad had some and it was the most delicious thing ever. And Dad was spewing that we found that out on the last day.
Andrew, that's a great start.
Hilarious. Okay, let's go to Alex and Kinross. Hey, Alex.
Hey, boys. How you going?
Yeah, good, Alex. Where are we travelling to, Alex?
Well, I haven't tried the egg sandwich, but I have been to Japan to Family Mart. No?
Yes.
The best things there, the Fami Chiki, which is just like the deep fried chicken that they do, but they got a bain-marie and everything. They're amazing. But the best thing, they're hard-boiled eggs. They come in in a little tub.
Yes.
They're salty as.
Just hard-boiled eggs.
The hard-boiled eggs, but they're salty on the inside. I've tried to make them. I've tried to find the recipe, but no joy. They are amazing.
Okay, so are they in the shell still or they're being peeled?
No, in the shell still, and they're in the fridge just in a little packet too in a clear plastic container.
So how do they get the salt
How do they
in
do
the
that? Did you
egg
ask anyone?
without it being peeled yet?
No, I've tried to ask. I've looked it up. We've tried to remake them at home and soak them in salty water and everything, but no joy.
I don't think that's going to get through the shell. But that's so funny.
You got to try, mate. You know, I got to eat them again. You know, you got to try.
Yeah, okay.
They must be feeding the chickens with just salty chips or something.
I don't care. Whatever the way Japanese does it. I'm going to this. I'm going to Japan. I'm going to this Family Mart. That's on the top of the restaurant.
Oh, right. Thanks, Alex.
Thanks, Alex. Hey, Shane.
Hey, guys. How you going?
Yeah, good, buddy. All right, so, Shane, where are we going to? Where are we travelling?
We're going to Sydney and Circular Quay.
Right, just over Sydney. Yep, we can all do that.
Yeah.
What's there?
Yep. That's the only place I can afford to go. I can't go places like Japan, so that's as good as it's going to get for me.
What have you found for us?
It's a place called Toasty Smith. It's kind of tucked away in Circular Quay. It's kind of in like a food eatery, kind of a small food eatery. It's kind of hard to find.
Yeah.
And these guys do, obviously, toasties, but my favourite there is the katsu chicken toasty.
Ooh, katsu chicken.
So they've got like an Asian slaw with obviously katsu chicken and the kepi sauce, and it's with the thick bread, but it's basically stuffed in at the top, and then they've got like a tomato relish kind of thing at the bottom, and I can't get enough of them. Every time we go there, it's straight to Toasty Smith, and we have multiple every day.
That's my favourite. I'm sorry, just like you said, once you find it and then you're there, I will eat that every day. I will go back and eat that every day. How much are they?
They're about $9, $10.
Not too bad. Not too bad.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, not too bad. Well, thank you so much, Shane. That's something that we can all do, even though it probably costs more to go to Sydney these days than it does to go overseas.
We're getting stitched everywhere flying these days.
This is Nathan, Nat and Shaun.
Moving over to the AFL draft last night, and Aaron Cadman was the number one pick for the GWS Giants, a big, tall Victorian, and he kind of had one of those growth spurts in the last year that enabled him to not only just play around in the midfield, so he's a runner, Nate, to now play in the forward line and be a key positional player. He was pretty rapt hearing his name get called out.
Never in a million years would I have thought I'd be in this position, and to share it with my family and friends and all these people in the room, it's super special.
You know what? Hats off to him as well for having a growth spurt and still being coordinated.
Yeah.
Those two things do not go together.
That's a really good
I was
point.
the most unco thing when I had my growth spurt.
Really?
Oh yeah, because suddenly it's not even like a conscious thing. You just don't know. Harry, you would have had this. Harry 6'5". Shut up.
I remained agile.
Oh,
What are you talking about?
Harry was known as the family greyhound. Very agile and yeah, you just like limbs are around and you don't really, you don't know where you start and where you end.
Yeah, spatial awareness. Yeah, because you're longer and taller and all that kind of stuff.
Wow.
So as the number one draft pick, Trace, and it's sponsored by NAB and has done for a long time, you're presented with a $10,000 portfolio that they then look after for a period of time.
Okay.
So that can just grow and grow.
Oh, wow.
I mean, that $10,000, I mean, if you just leave it, I mean, it could be worth a lot of money to you in the future.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not bad at all. West Coast Eagles picked up Ruben Ginby from East Perth Football Club. And he's the second top round draft picks in 2 years that have come down from that Margaret River region. So East Perth has the Dunsborough area, just Margaret River. And last year, Fremantle's number one pick, he came from that area. And Ruben's joining the West Coast Eagles.
Yeah, it's awesome. I was ready to go anywhere, but him and Aunt called at West Coast, that's great. And just, I guess it makes it easy. You don't have to travel too far.
So his family, massive Dockers supporters, so they got to get rid of all the purple now.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
They have to
And
make the switch.
You were telling us that the clubs like to recruit local as well. So that's amazing. What a charmed life he's lived, living in the Margaret River region, and now he's playing AFL football. That's just sounds like a very nice existence.
Yeah, it does.
Anyone that grew up in Margaret River.
Down south.
I think a lot of those kids, though, have to then travel and to make their dreams come true. It's not like coming from Kalgoorlie because it's a lot closer to that, but then, come and relocate and really give it a go. But yeah, the beach life, the wineries, the restaurants and all that kind of stuff living down there. Pretty awesome.
You mentioned yesterday, Shaun, just the family pool as well for a lot of these players. That's sort of becoming quite prominent, isn't it? So for these guys, these young guys, I guess having that family support around them nearby is quite important as they sort of make that rise.
One thing that and you're bang on, Trace, one thing that the clubs don't measure is the saving in costs, right? So if you draft this same guy from the East Coast, then you have to put him up with a family, so there's a cost involved. Then you'd have to be flying over their parents every however long. Some have girlfriends and doing the same things off to make sure that they don't feel homesick to stay here. Plus, you probably got not necessarily maybe human resources that need to get around that person as well. So there's time allocated, and that's a cost. Where you got the local guys that are just here, and they got the family support and friendship groups that still exist, and
they'll be happy.
Got him. They'll be happy.
They're just his family are all Dockers supporters.
Yes.
So he's going to be an Eagle. Okay, so is he. So all right, Shaun.
Did he feel like he's almost cheating?
Well, my question is, can it be done truly in your heart? So say Ollie, right?
Yeah.
Say Ollie gets recruited to another team. You are, of course, Dockers all the way. Can you change the team that you go for in your heart?
Well, I can't.
You can't.
And he will cease to live with us. But apart from that, I think it can be done with other people for sure. It can be.
Nathan, Nat and Shaun is a Nova podcast. For more great comedy shows like this, head to novapodcasts.com.au.